Hi guys, today I am going to show you how to apply for Canadian PR without consultants' help. The main reason for this is that there are a lot of young individuals, bachelors who are interested about this program, and they wonder if they have to go for a consultant and pay that heavy fee. And what I could say is that you can definitely apply for this program without paying for consultants, because this is a program which you can apply online through the Canadian government website. And this is a point based system. They give points for your education, for your age, for your language proficiency, which means your English skills, and for your work experience. So the first thing you have to consider is your age. If you are between the age 25 to 32, you can definitely fetch marks for your age factor. Number two would be your education. Earlier in the year 2016, anyone with a bachelor degree and anyone who falls between the year 25 and 32 in their age and who are able to fetch good marks in IELTS was able to get the ITA. But right now, CRS points, the cutoff score have become very competitive. That means for the last 2 years, CRS cutoff level has never gone down below 435. Therefore, right now the education requirement is that you should have a master level degree. It could be master of science, master in arts, or an MBA. As long as it's a master level degree, you are good to go. Something that is closer to a master degree would be if you have a bachelor degree plus a 1 year qualification of any discipline. Remember, it should be a university qualification and it should be for 1 year or more. It could be 2 year. Doesn't matter whether it's a certificate or a diploma, as long as it comes from a university, and if it's more than a 1 year course, you can fetch marks for 2 or more qualifications as per the Canadian standard. You would definitely not get marks as how you get marks for MBA or a master degree, but you can get enough marks to cross the 440 CRS score border. And number three would be IELTS score. IELTS general is available in every country nowadays. If you want to go for a permanent residence for Australia, for Canada, for US, for UK, you're supposed to do the IELTS general exam, and they have set out a minimum score level which you are supposed to achieve. For the express entry program conducted by Canada, they have provided these scores. That is, listening you're supposed to get 8, and for reading you're supposed to get 7, writing 7, and speaking 7. So you have to score minimum of 7 of each of these components, that is reading, writing, and listening. And speaking. And for listening you are supposed to get a minimum of an 8. That's the standard which they have given. But don't worry, doesn't matter. IELTS generally is a famous exam. It's very popular and a lot of people sit for this exam. Therefore, there are a lot of study materials available in the internet, in the YouTube. So for listening, you can practice in the YouTube, and you can develop your skills up to an 8, and then you can sit for the exam with confidence. And the work experience. Now, Canadian government has assigned particular codes for various jobs, and there are about 30,000 codes such as these. So what they officially call for this job codes is NOC, that is National Occupation Classification List. So it's actually a fancy name for the allocated number which you belong. So let's say that you're an accountant, and in Canadian website they might have account analyst, financial analyst, uh, you might not find a suitable job title for your job title in Canada, government of Canada. But the good thing about it is that you can find something that goes closer to your job profile. Meaning to say, you can select financial analyst or account analyst or junior accountant, and once you select, they will give a short job description and some number of duties which is done by anybody in that job profile. And if that goes close to your job which you do in the office, you can choose that NOC code. A lot of people are afraid on this. They might think that they need consultants help, but remember guys, this is something which you can do by yourself. Consultant would not know the nature of your job, and they might do the same, they might make the same choice which you would be making if this task is under you. And consultants cannot help not more than you can help yourself. All you have to do is to allocate good 30 minutes sitting in front of a computer screen, and just go to their through their NOC job list and just select a code which matches to your, which properly defines your job category, and keep that code aside, because you would be needing it at this step when you open the express entry profile. So, and the other thing you have to do is you have to get your educational documents accredited by Canada. Various countries use various methods to do that, but government of Canada has assigned 2 or 3 agencies, and among them the most famous agency is WS, that is World Education Service. You can simply go to their website. You have to pay a fee of 238 Canadian dollars, and you can pay it by credit card or debit card. And you can just create an account with them, and they have provided step-by-step process of how you can get your transcripts assessed. So what they would basically do is they will issue a report saying that your education that you got in your home country is equivalent to a so and so Canadian degree or a university program. That's all what they have to do. But this report is required in order for you to open your express entry application. This process does not take a long time. Upon receiving your documents, they will process this report within about 21 days, and I don't think that's a big time. um, so all I'll tell you in brief what they are going to do. They will ask you your transcripts, and then you're supposed to call your university, and the university would put your copies of your transcripts. They would put their seal and their stamp on it. They will put it in an envelope, and they would either give it to you, or they will directly courier it to the WS agency. In either way, once they receive the documents, within 21 days they will issue a PDF report for your email. And in the PDF report, there's a particular serial number which you have to use when you open the express entry profile. So there are 2 certificates which should be there in your hand by the time when you open the express entry profile online. You should have your IELTS certificate, because in the IELTS certificate there is a TRF number, that is your test report form number. So you have to enter that number in your online application, plus you have to use your WS evaluation report number, so that instantly the Canadian government will verify your IELTS scores and your education background. So it's an online system. Once you have this, you can open the express entry profile, and in somewhere they would ask you your NOC code. So you must have made up your mind right now, by now, in which NOC code you would be using, and you can use that NOC code on the panel, on the area where they ask your job code. So it's an online application. There are a couple of YouTube videos which were showing a step-by-step explanation of how to apply for express entry, how to fill up the online form, which is very convenient. I follow the same process when I apply for my express entry profile. You can check them and you can do it by yourself. And by this step you would have saved about 2 to 3 thousand US dollars from the money which you have to pay for a consultant. So um, now if you're between this age 25 to 32, and if you have scored the right IELTS amount, that is 8777, and if your educational background is falling between these two criterias, one or the other, you can fetch marks more than you can fetch more than 440 CRS score. Therefore you can expect your ITA in the next consecutive draw. So every month there are two draws which are happening. So each draw has a gap of about approximately 14 days, that is 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks Canadian government would make this draw. So in this draw they will send the ITA for people who have scored more than 440. So you would fall somewhere between 440 to 480 if you fit in this criteria. So you don't need a consultant help. And once you receive the ITA, the next process is the real process for permanent residence, because without receiving the ITA, it's an invitation from the Canadian government. Without this invitation, you are not eligible for PR. An invitation would always mean that you have met the right criteria for a permanent residence, and then the next step would be they would ask you your actual documents. Now the actual documents after the ITA, after you receive the ITA, also they are not supposed to be posted anywhere. You're only supposed to take your snaps and you have to make clear PDF copies, and you have to update in your online profile. So initially when you open the express entry profile and until you get the ITA, your online application would look different. And once you receive ITA, they will give you an option to proceed with your PR application. So then there will be new slots made available for you to upload the rest of the documents. So the rest of the documents would include your police reports from your local country, police reports from any country which you have stayed for more than 6 months. These are for security concerns, and these are conducted by any country. This is the standard procedure for any country who would expect immigrants, and they would request your medical. But all these five things are after you receive an ITA. But imagine if you have these qualifications, if you fall between this age, and if you have the right education, and if you have the right English proficiency, you still decide to go for a consultant, I don't think there's any point in that. Whereas you can invest that money to sit for the IELTS exam in case if you are not able to fetch marks at the first time, which is the true case for many applicants nowadays. So just evaluate yourself from your age and from your education background and from your English skills. And if you don't have polished English skills, improve it, guys. And I'm telling you, there are so many people out there who had a moderate level of English language, and they were able to polish their English within 3 4 5 months, and they sit for a couple of IELTS exam, and that's all they had to do, and they changed their life simply for the fact that they did not quit and they just went ahead through the process. And if you apply for a consultant, it would be the same process, but then you would not be motivated as how you would be doing it when you do it alone, by logging into the website, by filling up forms, by sitting for IELTS. And after all, even if you fail IELTS, the consultant might not help you. He cannot actually help you on your English language. You have to improve it. And You might save tons of extra money which you can invest on your WS evaluation and in your IELTS if you try to manage to do this application alone. I am planning to make another video of step by step process of what you should be doing after you receive the ITA, because after you receive the ITA, that's about 70% guarantee that you would get your permanent residence, unless if you do something wrong in your application. I mean, if you make fraud documents, or if you have any negative extremely bold criminal background, which doesn't happen often. So until you receive the ITA, you can manage up to express entry profile, and after you receive the ITA, you are almost 80% there to make your permanent residence. Okay, thank you.